Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to episode 155 of Why Did I Buy This? This series started as a way to help crafters find unique ways to use products that they have in their collections. It's also a great series for new crafters who are wondering what they need to get started. My name is Lindsay. Thank you for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to get to craft with you. You can find me on Instagram at Inky Thumbs, YouTube at Inky Thumbs, and here on Facebook at Inky Thumbs. So if you're on Facebook, you found me on the right place. Each Friday I go live at noon Mountain Time to try to share with you some of the things that I'm working on in my studio. And it's just a way that if you have crafting things in your collection and you're not quite sure what to do with it, this is a great place to learn. You can see all previous 154 videos in my video library here on Facebook. So go back and watch previous episodes if you like. If you have questions or if you have suggestions of things you'd like to see in the series, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I love comments. So please, as you're watching, feel free to comment. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know that too. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you know this product, if you've used this product, it's always great to see what you guys are working on too. Hello, Ashley. Welcome. Yes, please say hi as you tune in. And remember, the best compliment that you can give me is to share this video. So now's a good time to hit share and invite your friends to come watch it with you. Now, we are in November as this is being filmed, and so I have some ordering specials in November. We just had a huge seasonal sale for all of the basics. I call it the not so sexy sale because it was like the things that you don't always like. They're not super eye-catching. Paper, cardstock, right? Ribbons, ink refills, those kinds of things. So I hope you took advantage of that because it was a really good deal. If you're looking for a deal, the best deal that you can get is our demonstrator starter kit. You get to choose $165 worth of products, of any products of your choice, and you only pay $135. There's no shipping or GST charged on it. So it is a very good deal. Moving on from that, you always get a minimum 20% discount for the lifetime that you're a demonstrator, and you get to be part of my team, Cloud9 Stampers. I am the team leader of that. Now, I've been a demonstrator over 20 years. I love to craft, and I love to share what I'm working on with you. Hello, Elaine. Good to see you. Yeah, so if you see a project you like or a product you like, go ahead and hit hearts. It's always fun to know that I'm not talking to myself because, you know, it happens. We have a beautiful weekend here in Edmonton. I think it's going to be 13 degrees today. So after this video, I think I need to take the puppies out for a walk because there are not very many more days like this left here in Edmonton. I live in a very wintry place. If you're not familiar with it, we, I think, are one of the most, like the largest, most northern city in the world. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, we're really far north, for a large city. So we do tend to get a pretty cold, icy winter. But right now it's sunny and beautiful and warm, so it's nice. Hi Ethel, welcome. Okay, so today's product is one that's from our annual catalog. We've had it for a few years and I've actually done a video before on this product, but I thought I'd revisit it today because it's a nice one to use in the winter season. There are so many things you can do with this and I still have not even like hit the tip of the iceberg on it. There's a lot of things you can do. But today I was playing with some Christmas card making. And so I thought I would share with you what I've been doing with this particular product. It's a really affordable product, which is nice. And it's, like I said, it's super versatile. So without further ado, I'm going to do the awkward transition so you can see my hands and we're going to get crafting. So ready, and clip you into my stand and we will just zoom in a smidge. Okay, do you guys like my new backdrop? It's actually a placemat, so hopefully I can wipe it off. All right, today's product is embossing paste. So this paste is a fast drying texture-based paste. It works really well with our masks. You can use it on its own as well if you just want to add texture like snow. This one is white. We also have a shimmery one that has sparkles in it too. I personally like to keep this foil on it just to help add another extra layer. You don't want to leave the lid open because this does dry pretty quickly. Ah, Sharon, happy Pool Party Friday. You know what? I almost didn't use Pool Party today. I couldn't believe it. Like, I got to my PYP project and I was like, oh, wait, I need some Pool Party. Just for Sharon. So the embossing paste does dry quickly, like within a few minutes, and it dries hard. There was a time when like I touched the tool to my water bottle and that paste never came off. So just be mindful that whatever you're using your paste with, you're going to want to make sure that you wash your tools quickly. Now, speaking of tools, we sell palette knives and they come as a set of 3. So you can see these 2 and then this one here. This one I tend to gravitate towards a lot. I like the big flat edge and the spatula for scooping, but both of these also work well for mixing as well. So embossing paste is, I actually didn't look up the price. It's not very much money, but it is in the annual catalog. You can find it online on my online store, and you're gonna see some really great ways to use it. So let's get started. Now I'm bringing in the Abundant Beauty decorative masks, and I've done a video on this too recently, so you can head into my library and see these in action. There's 2 more masks. Three more masks. I just have them ready to go with the projects. So yeah, a really beautiful seasonally themed set of masks. And the thing that makes these masks fun is they're actually 2 steps. So I'm just gonna line these up. Well, there's 3 step because the 3rd set works with that as well. And then you can see you've got the leaves to coordinate with that also. So it's a really, really fun and unique mask set. So another one of the masks is this. These are the snowflakes, and you guys know I love me some snowflakes. One of the reasons for that is my husband and I got married December 30th, many, many moons ago. And so we had snowflakes as the theme of our wedding. Now I'm just going to add a bit of Stampin' Seal to the back, just a teeny bit, and I'm gonna kind of unstick it a little bit. And then I'm going to add this to my grid paper. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of tape. It's just kind of like an insurance policy to make sure it doesn't move too much. So I'm gonna line it up with the grid paper as well, like that, and then stick that on. Okay, so here we've got our embossing paste. I'm gonna use my scooper, my little spatula to pull that out. It kind of looks like icing, doesn't it? Now I'm hungry. Yeah, it kind of looks like icing, which is fun. So now I'm going to just gently scoop it over top of the masks, just like that, and just pull the embossing paste all the way down. So we have the grid paper in the background. That's going to catch any of the overspill. And hello, Christine McKay. So that we can have all of our little snowflakes filled in. So once you're content with how full it is, I'm actually going to use a baby wipe, and I'm going to wipe off that excess. And then I'm going to use this and pull off any of the extra that's on my mask. Now this is clean, like I didn't add any color to it, so I can actually put this back into my container, just like that. And then we want to make sure we clean our tools before we move on to our next step, because like I said, the stuff dries quickly and it is lumpy when it dries, and it's kind of permanent. So I'm going to set this aside for a sec. We're just going to move. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, love it. We're going to use our baby wipe and just remove any of the extra that's on here, just so we don't have a lumpy mask, because that's no fun to work with, especially if you're using like your blending brush with it. Okay, so once that's clean, we can set that aside. And now I'm going to bring in, we're going to let this do some drying. I'm going to bring in from the Deckled Rectangles die this little lovely rectangle. The Deckled series, both the rectangles and the circles, have become some of my favorite dies. I use them a ton. They're very like user-friendly. They work with a lot of our stamp sets. So I'm gonna get myself a clean piece of grid paper here. And now I'm bringing in the Magical Meadow stamp set. So I love these little wintry scenes here. They look like watercolored backgrounds. And I'm going to use Mossy Meadow, one of our neutrals. And we're gonna ink up this little forest scene. So this is gonna stamp over to the right-hand side, just like that. Now, one of the things I love about these ones that look like watercoloring is you can use a watercolor brush or a blender pen, which, you know, a lot of you have in your tool collection, and you can go over the background and it looks like you've watercolored the background. It just blends that stippled look so that you get more of a painted look. And I just think it brings out the green and makes it look very, very pretty, just like that. So we'll bring in Memento, our black, and we're going to stamp the greeting. I always like to check and make sure I've got it inked all the way, especially when it's these delicate fonts. If you press hard, it can kind of be blobby. So we're going to stamp that onto our rectangle. And now is where we get the sparkle in the season of sparkle. I know. I am a little literal with that. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a silicone mat, and with my Wink of Stella, which is a platinum shimmer pen, we're going to give a little squeeze of ink. So just creating that little puddle. And then I'm going to kind of really make my brush tip very saturated, and I'm going to tap it so that that splatter hits the background. So basically we're just creating this super fine shimmer splatter in the background of our card. And again, I don't know how well this will show up in the video, but in person it's stunning. It really has that sparkle. So again, on that same theme of sparkle, I'm now going to use my brush and I'm going to edge the deckled rectangle and just add that platinum along the edge. It's a subtle but fun detail. So along the edge here, just like this, and along like that. So now you get that gorgeous sparkle. Okay, let me set this aside and show you the finished project. So here I've just added some embellishments that coordinate, and you can see the little shimmer. Can you see that? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the shimmer along the edge. So I just think it's such a pretty, simple card. Just that little splash of green and then that textured snowflake in the background. Fun, right? Okay, we're going to move on to the next project. So the next one, we are going to bring in some Bubble Bath. So that's a color. So this Bubble Bath ink is just a really, really pretty soft pink. And I'm going to keep my silicone mat because I'm actually going to incorporate in this little puddle of Wink of Stella that I've created. Waste not, want not. That's what I always say. So I'm going to bring in my jar of embossing paste, and we're going to pull out some of the excess that we'd already put back in there. So just maybe a tablespoon. And we're going to add that to our shimmer pile. And then I'm going to bring in that Bubble Bath ink refill. And you really don't need a lot, like 1 drop maybe. Ink refills are very concentrated. I've done videos on these as well. These are great. I mean, what they're intended for is your ink pads. You want to use them to refill your ink pads. But they also are great for so many techniques. So you'll see I'm mixing together my ink refill and the platinum shimmer. So we are just creating a really subtle shimmery paste. What? I know. And then I'm going to bring in this herringbone mask with my little circle. So again, I'm just going to add a teeny tiny bit of Stampin' Up seal to the back. That's going to help hold it in place. And I'm going to throw this on, which way? I want it like this. So line it up and then use a little bit of tape to hold it in place. And now we're gonna scoop up that beautiful paste that we've made and we're gonna add it to our circle. So you can see I've gone a little bit lighter on this one, and that's the fun part, is whatever every time you do it, it's gonna be a tiny bit different unless you actually, measure things out, which who has time for that? Okay, so going over the whole circle. This is circles made with the deckled circle dies from our mini catalog, and then we're gonna pull that off. Now, remember, when we're using embossing paste, we do need to clean things right away. So because we have color, we're not gonna put this back into our container. We're just going to take off the excess from our tool so it doesn't dry there. And then I'm going to pull this off and we'll just wipe this so that we don't have any excess stuck on our mask. No lumpy masks. Okay, like that. And I also should clean my silicone mat. Oh, look at that excess. Okay, I'm gonna get a clean one because this is going to create a problem. I mean, if I wasn't doing this on a video, I would just take it over to my kitchen sink and rinse it. It's very, very quick and easy to rinse. But just for the sake of showing and not having time to run back and forth to the sink, we're gonna do it like this. Okay, so now when we pull off our little circle, you get that look to it. So I just love how it's got that texture to it. It looks kind of like a pink sweater. And now I'm going to bring in the Gift of Giving dies, stamp set. And I love this Cup of Cheer. That is just such a cute stamp. So let's bring in a piece of basic white. I've got a big piece here. I just didn't bother to cut one. We're going to use our memento. And we're going to stamp down below. So cute. Okay, using some blends. How many of you got your blends on sale this week? Raise your hand. Yeah, I got some of the ones I was missing, which was fun. So when we're working with an image like this, there's a lot of detail here. I like to, first of all, I want to draw in some of the color from my background piece that I'm going to be using. So I have my bubble bath here. So I'm going to make my candy cane pink. And there are pink candy canes, so this isn't totally abnormal, right? I'm going to make the berries pink. These are winter berries, so they're often usually white, but you know what? Creative license. And we are going to use our light pool party. Okay, Sharon, I had a little bit of pool party in there, but it's not a star player on this card. So I'm going to just use that on the color here lines. Thanks, Meg Loven, for that fun expression, to just make it look so it's not so two-dimensional. And then I think pecan pie might be the best brown for cookies. So I'm going to use the dark to fill in the chocolate chips on the cookies. Who wouldn't want to receive this little cup of cheer as a gift, hey? And then we're going to add our light pecan pie to color that in. Looks so good. And then one of the colors that I had to order was soft seafoam. So I used my Granny Apple Green to color the cup. I'm using the pen end to fill in the details in the background here. And then you can use the rest of it to color the cup in. Now, the other thing I did was brought in soft seafoam with my marker, my Stampin' Right marker, so that I can add a little touch of that to coordinate with the background. Yeah, Corinne, it looks yummy, right? So once you've colored the cup, you can cut it out. And let me show you the finished project. Here we go. So doesn't that look beautiful? So you can see I went a little bit darker on the background with that sample, but again, that's part of the fun, is that you can really just make it as dark or as light as you like. Now I actually popped up the cup here just to give a lot of dimension, because this card just felt like it was meant to have a lot of texture to it. So that's project number 2. Okay, we're gonna move on to the PYP card, and this one is a new to me style, and it's using the Deckled Circles dies, one of our mini catalog products. This is such a great die set. It really has, I mean, all of the circle sizes you could ever want. We're gonna go with the largest size, which works on a 6x6 paper and does fit through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this is what the card looks like. So this style of card, I can't remember if I said it already, but this style of card is called a rocker card. So you fold your circle in half and then give it a press, and this is going to act as the rocking mechanism in your card. Really simple. So then the next part is we're going to do a pop-up. So I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white, and I wanted to use my masks again, but I wanted to use them in a different way. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna bring in my silicone mat, and I am bringing in some of the Sweet Sorbet. I feel like Sweet Sorbet is maybe an overlooked color for Christmas, but it definitely has kind of more of a red than a pink in it, even though like if you put it next to real red, it does look more pink, but it on its own, it's a really beautiful red. So bringing in my embossing paste, grabbing my little spatula, and then we're going to make some more colorful paste. So onto my silicone mat, I'm going to give you a little smush, and then we're going to add, I'm going to do 2 drops because I want it really concentrated. I don't want it to be pink. I want it to be strawberry sorbet. So now we're going to mash it all together, just like that. So I'm going to bring in a piece of my grid paper, and this normally is the sunflower centers in that trio of masks. But what I'm going to do here is we're going to create a little polka dot background. So grabbing this beautiful paste that we've made, I'm going to hold this tight, and I'm going to go over top of that, and then over top of that, scoop off any excess and remove our mask so you get that. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside for a second. Now I have red paste everywhere. So let me take a moment to just clean my work surface. So this is important. First of all, I just got my nails done and I don't really want that stuff stuck to my nails. It's pretty, right? But also this red will get on our project, which won't be fun. Okay, so cleaning off our tools, and I'm gonna move this to set aside to dry, and then cleaning my mask. Again, easy to run underwater, but not easy while you're filming a video. And we'll remove that from the silicone mat. Okay, so now we can set these aside now that they're mostly clean. So here we have our lovely little background, and we're going to do a little bit of detail on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in my blends, and I'm just going to add a bit of splatter like that. And then we're going to bring in another stamp from the Gift of Giving. I hadn't used this set a lot, but the Stampin' Through the Catalog challenge in the last week or so was this. And so you guys, seeing some of the things you guys made, made me think, yeah, I need to bring that out. Okay, so here we've got a piece of basic white. So we will stamp our little Fanny. This I like to do upside down because I just find with the bigger stamps and because there's a lot of detail, you can see a lot better that you've got it all inked. Okay, feel confident, that's pretty good. And then we're gonna stamp gifts from Santa Claus, just like that. Cute. Yeah, super cute stamp set. So here's the color palette that I'm using, including my pecan pie. So sweet sorbet, again, we're using that as our red, and then we're using pecan pie. I kind of did it in the theme of, you know, like the brown paper packages tied up a string. So some of the packages would be brown, right? So just going over top of the edges. That I like to add a little bit more. I'm trying not to use the dark one on this one because I want it to be a little lighter, because I want it to look more like craft paper. There we go, like that. See what I mean? Okay, and then once we've got that colored, we're gonna cut it out. So let me show you some of the assembly. I'm working with wet paste here, so bear with me. So I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus on this one. I want it to be nice and held down firmly because we've got a moving card. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to stick this on. Now the key is you want to make sure that you only stick dimensionals below, not above. So I'm going to use, so if I do this, I like to use my finger to kind of show me where to put them. Like that. And then we can stick that on like that. And so then here's our little rocking mechanism. Okay, let me skip ahead and show you the finished project. So once we have it all colored, we're gonna fussy cut out our little Santa Claus, and there you've got our rocking card. How many of you have those circle dies? If you don't, they definitely should be on your wish list because it just is so easy to layer them. And then of course, this is such a fun new card design that's come out of people using those dies. So this is the PYP card, the little rocking card. And here we've got our little cup of cheer. And then our subtle but beautiful season of sparkle. So if you're thinking to yourself, Lindsay, why don't I have these products? You can head to my online store and shop away. Orders that are over $35 are going to receive what I'm calling a mini maker kit. So there's some pre-cut supplies in them that you can use for your own inspiration, and you can craft away. I want to inspire you to use your craft supplies that you have in your collection. It's so much fun to get to do that. Of course, if your order reaches $100, you're going to want to make sure you put in the host code so that you can get the, I'm going to send you a set of embellishments. And then finally, if your order's reaching more than $100, really think about that demonstrator starter kit. There is a win-win. I always say the reason that you bought the demonstrator starter kit is the right reason. It is just really meant for you to love your crafting, get an ongoing discount for your lifetime as a demonstrator, and you are welcome to share your creativity with friends. So yeah, just a few ways that you can shop this month. Have an amazing weekend, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed today's projects. Thanks again for watching and sharing. I really am so happy to be able to do this with you. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.